Conversations with Nicole. Let's talk about it. Tell me all about it. I'm here. I wanna know what's on your mind. Ooh, the world needs to hear from you, and I'm so glad to have a conversation to reach the nation. And it's all about you. We'll help each other to discover innovative ways to positively change the world. Let's talk about, let's talk about, yeah. Let's talk about conversations with Nicole.
Greetings. Happy Wednesday. Welcome to Conversations with Nicole. I am Nicole Everett, your host. And Conversations with Nicole is a talk show based in Tallahassee, Florida, focused on connecting the community through conversations. And today is what I call Wellness Wednesday, which is an opportunity for you, me, and my guests to chat about something interesting and intriguing. And today, we are talking about National Homeownership Month. June is National Homeownership Month. This year marks 30 years since National Homeownership Week was started by then U.S. President Bill Clinton. And so it got extended to a month under President George W. Bush's presidency. And, you know, it is an opportunity for us to celebrate homeownership and all that it adds to our lives. And so my two very special guests, Ms. Pamela Greene with the Tallahassee Lenders Consortium and Ms. Danielle Andrews, who is with NAREB and TBR, the Tallahassee Board of Realtors. And I'm going to tell you her business name in just a minute. They are here with me to talk about this great conversation. Or have this conversation. So before I bring them on, I need to hear from you all. Where are you tuning in from? I see a few of you on YouTube, and I will shout you out in a minute. But put your city and state in the comments so we can give you a shout out. This is an interactive live. TLC, along with several community members, are hosting a backyard barbecue this coming Saturday that's going to be filled with great information and, of course, great food, if we're talking barbecue, right, for the entire community to come out and participate in. So tag a friend, let them know they need to be on here. Your comments, your questions are very much so welcome. I see that my mom, of course, is here down in Miami. Love you, Mom. Thank you for being here. We got Enigma Sepp, who's on second. What's second? I don't know what that means, E. Let me know. He is also in Tallahassee. So I just got to pause real quick before we kind of get into it. I'm actually in New Orleans. I'm here for my Advancing Black Homeownership Cohort retreat. It's our closeout retreat. My program with Habitat is ending June 30th. And it's been a fabulous time. Today, we had the most amazing tour of New Orleans from a Black perspective, really, because it was a Black tour guide. And it just, man, it's so much culture and history here, and it's just been fabulous. I finally found where, I don't know if you all have seen these shirts that say, I am, what does it say? I am my ancestors' wildest dreams. I got the button today, okay? But they have the shirts in this Studio B is what it's called. And they have some really just awesome art in this place. But it's just been so, I don't know, rich to kind of come here and see the resilience of the folks of New Orleans. August will be 20 years since Hurricane Katrina, and they still have not fully recovered. And so to see, you know, dilapidated homes and homes that have been just demolished, like nothing left but like maybe the foundations. It's just, you know, it just stands the reason why this work around home ownership is so important. So I'm so excited that we're having this conversation today. Okay, so E said he was second the comment. Okay, all right, funny guy. Okay, so anyway, again, we're gonna have a great time. So I want to share some of Pamela's bio. Pamela Greene is the Assistant Executive Director at the Tallahassee Lenders Consortium, where their model is helping you build an affordable future. She started with the agency in 2019 as administrative assistant. And she grew up in Gaston County, Florida, oldest of three children, began her career in the U.S. Navy as a storekeeper, and also referred to as a logistics specialist. She served in the military for many years, but she also worked in different positions to determine the right fit. As the assistant executive director at TLC, she spearheads the Sustainable Business Initiative, a program that fosters the emergence of change from an agency focus to a customer centric model to positively impact the mission and contribution or and contribute to sustainable growth to the agency. She also has she's a notary. She's currently a licensed independent assurance adjuster and an ASQ certified quality improvement associate. Y'all help me welcome Miss Pamela Greene.
Hello.
Hey, hey, hey,
Hi,
hey.
Nicole.
Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Thank you.
You're
Thank you
welcome.
for that intro.
My
Glad to be
pleasure.
here.
My pleasure, my pleasure. So tell the people, who is Pamela Greene? Not what you do, but who are you in your own words?
Pamela Greene is a homegrown, loving, somewhat outgoing individual, always aspiring to do more and grow and spread love and independence, and just an opportunity to help people know how important they are.
Love it, love it, love it, love it. Again, glad that you're here and so excited to have this conversation. All right, up next, who is no stranger to conversation with Nicole. We actually had a live conversation in April during Fair Housing Month. Miss Danielle Andrews, she's the broker and owner of Realty One Group Next Generation in Tallahassee, a full service real estate brokerage serving Florida, Georgia, and Alabama. She is active in several professional and community organizations, a graduate of the University of Central Florida and the Florida State University, go Noles. And in 2023, she was one of the 50 finalists in the National Association of Realtors 30 Under 30 competition and a 2024 a Housing Wire Woman of Influence. She is also the author of Color Your Way Through Real Estate. And each time I read that, I say I need to get a copy of that book. An interactive real estate coloring book for children. And she is a loving wife and mom. In her spare time, she enjoys spending time with her family, traveling, trying new restaurants, watching movies, and swimming. Y'all help me welcome Miss Danielle Andrews.
Hello, good evening. Thank you for having me.
My pleasure. My pleasure. Thank you for being here. All right, Danielle, you know the drill. Tell the people, who is Danielle Andrews? Not what you do, but who are you?
Yes, I'm Danielle Andrews. I am Miss Pamela said that she is homegrown. I am a Tallahassee transplant. I grew up in St. Pete, Florida, and have been in Tallahassee since 2018, and it has definitely become another home. So I love binge watching TV shows. I have a lineup coming up this week. There's so many great things coming on Netflix. I enjoy swimming. I love some water aerobics and just laughing, having a good time. Real estate can be highly stressful. So being able to decompress is always something you'll find me doing.
Absolutely. Love that. Love that. I'm gonna have to ask you about some of those shows that you're binge watching because it can be so addictive, but so you're on the edge of your seat and ready for the next episode. So I'm gonna have to
Yes.
get that list from you. All right. So Miss Keisha Washington has joined us. Greetings, God people. Welcome, ladies. Thank you, Keisha. She is also in Tallahassee. I want to get started with these events. So maybe Pamela, you can kind of start us off in terms of telling us the who, what, where, when, and why. And then Danielle, you can kind of tell us what your role is in the event as well.
Sure. We are hosting a backyard barbecue on Saturday, June 7th, at the Laverne Payne Community Center, 450 West 4th Avenue. And we will be there from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. There is free food, but you're going to have to get free education first.
I love
Yeah, you
that.
got to feed your mind and then feed your belly.
Okay.
We This is the second time we have actually hosted this. We did it in 2023 in an effort to get some things going to celebrate the 30th anniversary of TLC. And I thought, well, what a better way than open up, to the community, get a barbecue going. It was nice and hot, and that turned out to be a hit, bigger than I expected. And now the community is expecting it. They call, they want to know when we're going to have it. We didn't do it last year, but I said it's time to rewind that, bring it back, like they say. And that's what we're doing this year, but in collaboration this time with TBR. That's where Danielle steps in.
Yeah, nice. All right. So Danielle, let's talk a little bit about your role in the upcoming backyard barbecue.
Yes. So I am the chair of the Equal Opportunity Committee with the Tallahassee Board of Realtors. And for the past 4 years, we have held some sort of home buyer educational workshop for the public. And so this year, as we continue to evaluate feedback and things from previous years, we thought it would be a great way to, instead of having all of these separate events, kind of in silos, but to be able to partner with TLC to help add to the educational components, help market and get the word out, and be a presence in the community in this way, and conduct our efforts this way. So we're so excited to be a part and not, have to be trying to build two separate crowds for two different similar events.
Nice, 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 nice. Now, I know that there are going to be some workshops that take place. Can you just talk, either one of you talk briefly about what some of those workshops are?
Yeah, Danielle can talk about those, because what we did this time, instead of TLC running around and losing our minds all over the place, we decided to let TBR take on the workshop for us.
Okay.
Yes. So some portions of the day will talk about lender-based programs like renovation loans and things like that. One of the great aspects of TLC is it's kind of really a one-stop shop when it comes to homeownership. So they have a plethora of lender partners, and each of those lending companies, many of them have different loan products that more than just kind of the traditional fit the box of buying a home. So you'll hear information on those loan types to be an avenue towards home ownership. But you will also hear from real estate agents talking about the role of a real estate agent and our value, as especially as a first-time home buyer. It would behoove you and be in your greatest benefit to work with a skilled and knowledgeable real estate agent. And so we'll have a session there. We also are bringing along some affiliates, as we call them, friends and other necessary individuals in the home buying process. We would not be able to get to closing day without these individuals. So we will have homeowners insurance representative. We are now, of course, in hurricane season. So just talking about the role of homeowners insurance in the process. We will have a title company representative with us who will talk about what title insurance is and how it doesn't have anything to do with your car. And and then we'll also have a home inspector with us who will, of course, break down and talk about the importance of home inspections. So we will have a wealth of information in terms of workshops, additional takeaways and handouts for you at our table. So lots of great information to feed your mind.
Wonderful. That sounds a little bit like a home buyer education class.
It
Yes.
is.
Nice. And so I know that TLC oftentimes focuses on first time home buyers, but will there be anything for folks that are currently home buyers?
Yes, in fact, we have one specific workshop, and it's reserved for those who are interested in the 203K home renovation loan.
Okay.
We have Loan Depot, Ron Byram, who speaks on that, specializes in that particular loan product. And he will be hosting towards the end of the day to speak to those homeowners who
Okay.
want to look into doing some work, as well as those who are seeking, that fixer upper. And you got to find that diamond in the rough. and
Okay.
he's going to give us some information on how you qualify for that type of loan.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. All right, very good. So, I wanted to kind of get that, at least mention initially for folks that may, uh, you know, catch us at the beginning of the broadcast and not towards the middle of the end, just so that they'll know, kind of what they can expect on this coming Saturday. I see we do have someone else who's joined us, RJ, with the creators checking in. Thank you for being here, RJ. So, again, we're talking National Homeownership Month, National Homeownership Month. And so, as I mentioned in the intro, this is really a time for us to uh, celebrate home ownership. I think, especially in minority communities here in America, I can't speak for any other places, but it has been a challenge. And I can speak specifically for African Americans just because of our experience here in America, right? And
Right.
so, I want each of you to talk about just, you know, the impact that homeownership can have on individuals and families.
Yeah, so when we first encounter a lot of our clients, they've never either looked at a credit report,
Mhm.
don't have any idea about the fact that the mortgage company needs that middle score. So it's not just one score. The Credit Karma Feel Good score that you tend to see is not going to be the one that measures up to say that a person is mortgage ready. You still run into people who don't necessarily do the traditional banking. Everybody's gravitating to online, all these cool things that are, easy to access your money a little faster and make loans from it. But those things that then turn out to be damaging your chances in moving into home ownership. So it's a very big deal when we make that first contact and help everybody understand that, look, we're all making mistakes along the way, but we have some information here to help set us on a correct path.
Yeah. Okay. What about you, Danielle? Anything that you talk to your clients about? Any life changing things that you witness as it relates to once your clients, especially your first time home buyers, achieve that goal of home ownership?
Yes, I mean, I see so many clients of mine who, with the purchase of their first home, particularly when they go on to sell it, and most often are using a majority or some portion of the proceeds to help transfer into the next house. And oftentimes it's a bigger home, most likely. So many of them, their first home was a good stepping stone and it opened the door.
Yeah.
And so, unlike when you go and rent, right, at the end of your lease, when you're ready to move out, maybe you need a bigger place to rent or a smaller place to rent, you're hoping, you're cleaning, you're doing whatnot to hopefully get that security deposit back.
Right.
And that's pretty much all you have to show for it, other than, you had a safe place to lay your head.
Yeah.
Whereas when you own a home and you go to sell it, um, let's call the proceeds an even $100,000, for example. Right now, you've earned and made $100,000, not worrying about that security deposit and hoping to get it back, and you can take that six-figure check on into the next house to lower the interest rate, since that seems to be such a buzz phrase, to help with your moving expenses, so you don't have to pay some friends and pizza and beer, right, to help you move, and so on and so forth. So it can truly be life changing. People use the equity in their home in so many ways to help fund emergencies, to help refinance credit card and personal loan, high interest debt, and they kind of leverage and consolidate it all into one. So there's
Yeah.
just so much you can do with your piggy bank, aka your house, that you get to live and sleep in.
Absolutely. Yes. You again have said quite a few things that I think people don't really maybe recognize in terms of the equity that they build and um, with that the purchase of that home. Now I will say, I think sometimes folks who previously were renters get it confused. This is your home, you own it. And so you have to take care of the maintenance and the upkeep, right? And so one of the things that I used to say when I taught those orientation classes was, you either need to be going down to Home Depot and Lowe's for those classes, or you need to maybe get a home warranty, or uh, do some bartering, right? So you know somebody that's handy with a hammer and a screwdriver. They
Yeah.
can help fix your whatever it is going on at your house, and maybe you fix them a meal, or you know do some sewing for them, or cut the yard or something like that. So you gotta work it out, right? Because you want to keep the value of that home up. So for sure, the roof is going to need to be replaced. Those
Mm,
appliances are going to need to be repaired and replaced.
yeah.
Um, so you gotta be saving up for that, right?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Definitely. Like you would a car, right? Like I think there are a lot of people that get afraid of the maintenance of a home and push themselves only into new construction, which new construction can be a great route if it works within your budget. But just like a car, how you have to get an oil change and change your wipers and filters and plan for that maintenance and so
Mhm.
on and so forth. It's the same way. So anything valuable has to be maintained and taken care of.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and here at TLC, budget counseling is, one of the first things we do. Sit down with the client and review everything that you have in terms of income. Don't hide it. Everything that you have in terms of an expense, don't be ashamed of that.
Mhm.
And then talk about those unexpected things that are going to come up because that's just life anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. No. uh Again, very very important. It's good to attempt to try to plan. I mean, you're not going to know everything exactly when it needs to be replaced or repaired, but if you have some reserves put aside, the burden of that won't be so extreme. And then there are programs available, at least here in Tallahassee, and for those who may be out of the Tallahassee area, check with your municipality to see if they offer some maybe low or no cost loans for you to get things replaced, repaired. I know the city of Tallahassee Utilities has like a 5% up to $10,000 loan that you can get to get new windows, new roofs, that sort of thing, and so that can make it affordable for you to get it, because they just attach it to your utility bill, right? And there typically is no prepayment penalty for paying that off early if you need to. So there's some options available, at least in Tallahassee, to get those things taken care of. So, oh, excuse me, Miss Pam, I'm gonna come back to you in terms of some of the things that you all tell folks at TLC regarding home ownership, to kind of prepare them.
Yeah, so again, going back to the Credit Karma Feel Good score, when we sit down with the clients and talk about what your actual score is and what the lenders are going to be looking for, people want to know what score, minimum score.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, get that score as high as you possibly can. Work it out as best as you can. But the lenders typically hover somewhere around 640.
Mm-hmm.
The city of Tallahassee and Leon County's down payment assistance is only 600, but you can't get to that. That's the second piece until you get to the first piece, which is the 640 score. So you may as well work, hard towards getting that score up as much as you can.
Yeah, yeah, no, that's good. Um, Scores do matter, so you definitely want to be working towards that, because scores will determine the rate at which you pay, if you're going to be having to put down more money,
Yeah.
if you are going to be paying a higher interest rate, so scores do matter. Yes. All right. So we have a few more folks chiming in. Miss Jeanette down in Miami Gardens, thank you for being here. Brother Quasi, who is in Atlanta, thank y'all for joining us. So listen, y'all, the viewers, questions are welcome. So please let us know if you have any questions around home ownership, Now, I know that, I'm at Habitat, like that's my day job. And all of the Habitat clients go through TLC, and we do have a 600 score minimum requirement as well. But there are overlays oftentimes that lenders can do on top of what the either down payment assistance programs require, or even the FHA or Fannie or Freddie. And I don't know, how active or involved that those loan products are right now in the market, but I would say, you want to understand, that when I say overlay, we're talking, so maybe the lender rate, if 640 is kind of the standard, the lender may require you to have a 650 or a 660. So can you talk, either one of you can talk a little bit about that whole piece?
Danielle, what are
Okay.
you running into with that?
Um, yes. So I do overlays. I do see those. And a good example of an overlay I think was given with Nicole with the credit score. So um, an FHA loan minimum might be 580, but in order for ABC Bank to issue a loan, they start at 620. So
Mhm.
that's an excellent example. Something else might be an overlay in regards to your debt to income ratio. It could be, so first of all, an overlay can be anything to qualify for the loan,
Mhm.
which is why it can be very important for people to get more than one opinion. Just kind of like if we were talking about health, often many people in the diagnosis, they get a second medical opinion.
Mhm.
When it comes to mortgages, there are black and white guidelines, but putting together a loan is like a puzzle. And while I am not a lender, there are a ton of pieces to it, and why a skilled lender, someone can potentially look at a file and only meets the eye what the borrower put into the application, what they submitted. uh, Good lenders dig deeper, often ask questions. They may ask them to provide, instead of just 2 years tax returns, they may look 3 or 4 years back,
Mhm.
and again, just continue to ask questions to see what other loan options or avenues things could work. So a lender is a part of your dream team toward your goal of home ownership and
Mhm.
getting to closing day. So again, just be on the lookout for overlays. They're not necessarily a bad thing, but they are essentially like a restriction, right? So if we have laws in our federal, state, local government, and so at each of those levels of government, the law could get a little more restrictive. Same kind of type thing with an overlay, right? The loan guideline is set, and that's the minimum. But a mortgage company or a bank has the ability to set a little bit of a higher restriction based on who buys their loans and their risk level tolerance.
You did a very good job with that, ma'am.
She
Very
did.
good job.
She
Yes,
did.
yes, yes, yes. No, you explained that well, because I mean, in the overlay that I gave, the example was for credit, but it could be anything. So, like Danielle said, ask lots of questions. Ask what the different programs or products require, and get a different opinion if you're not hearing what you want to hear. And also recognize that, if they have a certain score, you may just have a little more work to do, right?
Mhm.
And that's okay. It may be delayed just a little bit, but that's okay. You are trying to reach a particular goal, so be encouraged and just know that you can do it. Now, I want to just touch on this, and Danielle, this is probably going to be more in your wheelhouse, but housing is expensive.
Yes.
Hmm.
It is expensive. I had Dante Bonner on here on Monday. We would talk about fair housing. I was telling him how the prices of housing aren't fair, and I'm one of his agency about it. And so he just laughed at me. But at any rate, what you know, I don't know. I don't even know the question to ask, but just Danielle, what tell us what you're seeing out there, and how we can make it more in reach, because the prices just keep going up, 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 and the salaries aren't keeping up with all of that.
That's the problem. The salaries are not keeping up. And the crazy thing is, our salary ranges here are very similar to average salary ranges in larger metro areas like in Orlando or even a Miami, right? So people think because those cities are so large, they have access to more and things like that. While you do see a lot more private industry sector employers available there, right? But the average salaries are still very similar to Tallahassee, and we know it is much cheaper to live here in Tallahassee than Orlando and Miami. So the problem gets worse as you move throughout the state because their average sales price increases. And then the craziest part is as you move further south throughout the state, you compete with even more cash buyers. Like if you're buying a house in Naples, you might as well just go find cash somewhere because that is one of the most prominent cities in Florida to receive cash buyers. It's a heavy retirement area. So people often have that. But that's pretty much the problem. Yes, salaries. And so I like to say in Tallahassee, 250 is the new 150. So if you purchased a house maybe 2015 to about 2019, kind of those maybe 5 years before the pandemic, you could get, a house, a nice house for 150, and then low 100s, under 100s, you had a nice 3-bedroom townhome and so on and so forth. That 150, 175 budget would stretch you a long way. 5 to 10, 6 to 10 years ago, excuse me. Now, $100,000 more later, that is pretty much the same thing. In very general terms, in Leon County for a 3-2, 1,200 square foot home or so, that's about the range. Of course, there's always, unicorns and different things underneath that in townhomes, but that's pretty much what you're looking at. And that, as we went from maybe approximately $1,000,
Mhm.
800, $1,000 mortgage payment at 150 to a $2,000 mortgage payment at 250. And that same person, right? Let's look at if that person was a state employee.
Mhm.
The way you pretty much get a raise at the state is a promotion, occasional legislature approvals and salary increases and stuff, but more than likely you got to get a promotion. So if your salary's not changing, right, but the housing market is, it makes it really difficult. You have to go on the other side of the debt to income ratio. So on one side is income, the
Mhm.
other side is debt. So
Yeah,
if your income is not necessarily going to increase, then we have to look at decreasing that debt.
absolutely. And so, so I'm thinking about, I bought my home in 2000. So next month will be 25 years.
Wow.
My sales price was like 85,000.
Hmm.
And it's a 3-bedroom, 2 baths, about 1,400 square feet. And so the houses on my street are going for like between, like you said, like maybe 225 and 250.
Hmm.
Yeah, but that's
So
where we
you
are.
triple. Well,
Yes.
it's interesting. So the price in your neighborhood not only tripled, but they survived a decline and then still came back up because we know from about '08 to 2012-ish, right?
Yeah.
Prices declined and there was a market crash. So it went down and still has tripled.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, to that point, that's the reason we tell clients, you don't need to watch the news and wonder what interest rates are doing because you don't have any investment at this point. You get the house, get into the house, and
Mhm.
then you are concerned about those highs and lows, with interest rates because you take advantage of it, like you're saying, when the rates are low and, refinance and different things like that. You take opportunity to take advantage of those. But in the meantime, if you just on the outside and double dutch and you're waiting to get in there. If you waited and you're trying to get in now, wow,
Yeah.
huge
Yeah.
difference.
Yeah.
Yes, a huge difference. I
Mhm.
like that analogy of double dutch. I see you. Look,
Yeah, they'll be
to
the
get in there.
going and look. Yeah, I'm buying them not. I'm buying them not.
That's a
Right,
good one.
right,
Yeah.
right. So we are more than halfway through our conversation. So for those of you who are just tuning in, I am on with Danielle Andrews and Pamela Greene, Tallahassee Lenders Consortium, who is Tallahassee's HUD approved housing counseling organization, and NeighborWorks organization is hosting a backyard barbecue coming up this Saturday, June 7th. It'll be at the Laverne Payne
Mhm.
Yes.
Community Center on 4th Avenue. And it's all in celebration of National Homeownership Month. And so there will be great education and food, of course, but there's something for the entire family. So folks are invited to come out. It starts at what time?
10 a.m.
10 a.m. All right, 10 a.m. So you got to get the education first, and then they're going to feed you. So they're going to feed you mentally first, okay? And then they're going to feed you physically, right? This is Wellness Wednesday, so we got it all for you. A few more folks have joined us. Janetta, she said good information. Thank you, Janetta. RJ gave us a shout out to Day Jobs. Woohoo. And Keisha is my conversation. And she said she gonna I'm gonna marry me a man that's about to crow and get his house. Ma'am,
That's one way. That's one way.
that's one strategy. Yes, that's one strategy. All right. So we've talked around credit, we talked about overlays, we talked about uh home maintenance and repair. We've talked about some of the benefits, but I want to talk about affordability. I mean, that's kind of where I was, inching to when I was saying how, you know, housing kind of appears to be out of reach for folks, but affordability, and I mentioned this when I was on with Dante on Monday. You know, a lot of times people think of affordable housing as public housing or um, mobile homes and dilapidated housing, and uh, so tell let's talk a little bit about that. What when we talk about affordable housing, what are we talking about?
Mm.
Affordable because it depends on what your income is. It's what you can stand. So affordable is different for everyone. From the lowest of the area median income, where we're saying people are about 30%, income, before they fall into a position that they wouldn't be able to get themselves out of, and then up to 120%, that the county covers. So going into down payment assistance is one of those things to help address those concerns. It's going to help you get in there. But again, with the budget aspect of it, first understanding what we say in terms of HUD saying you can afford is a different number than you get when you go out to, the lender. It's just not the same consideration. So we have to address that part first. Let's talk to you first about what your income looks like affordably so that you don't end up house poor, where, you're only going to work because you've got to pay off this mortgage.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Um, Again, affordability is not uh, equated to something that's less than or substandard. It really has to do with what your budget, your income, your expenses, what you can afford. So I definitely just try to make sure that we highlight that because I don't want people to get the wrong impression about things, right? And so like I said, I feel like it feels like it's becoming out of reach again because these incomes are not really going up as much as everything else. And it's not just housing. I mean, I'm kind of putting the blame on housing right now, but everything else is going up. Insurance has gone up, food, transportation, everything has gone up. So, I don't know. Are we, encouraging folks to get side hustles or, sell some items or, what are we doing on the budgeting front? I feel like people need some help. Y'all help.
Yeah, yeah, always. Our our certified counselors talk again about this is what you make exactly. As long as you're honest with them about what you make, then they can advise you on how you can probably cut back on some things. You know, we all probably eat out a little bit more than we should. We can get those meals. You know, we have somebody here who brings in those. They're always doing the food distribution. Look, I haven't had to buy vegetables and I don't know how long. There's so many food
The farm
distribution.
share.
Yeah, yeah. Go find that. You know, make that part of your routine,
Yeah.
because it's available, right? You might as well.
Yeah.
They give tips about saving. You
Hmm.
know, getting ready for those again those unexpected expenses.
Yeah.
And yeah, definitely those side hustles if you can do them. But if you plan to use that income to buy a house, you got to report it.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, always a side hustle is a good thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like the speaking to, I think people equate side hustles into having to have a business. We have, and being a business owner isn't for everyone. There's a lot that comes into that. Um, there's a difference between a side hustle and a hobby that you make some money from right here and there, and then an actual business. So for example, maybe you're someone in your friend circle, I don't know, you have a bunch of friends who are night single mothers and they're night nurses, for example, right? They work overnight, and you have space at your house where you could
Mhm.
watch their children, right? And it's night, so I mean most of the watching is going to be sleeping.
Hmm.
That is, if that's something you are willing to do and have the personality type for, right, that can be a way to make some additional income, right? So it's not, I have seen and we've had generations of this as African Americans, um, of being resourceful in order to, stretch your dollar or things like that. And so, yes, that often does mean sacrifices, and can't go to Starbucks every day. We may not be able to go to every birthday or celebratory lunch thing at work, celebrating everybody's occasion.
Mhm.
Or if you go, right, you may have to still bring your own food with you. So I mean, there's just a number of things. Sometimes you got to remove some stuff from your Shein cart because them tariffs have made Shein prices go up too.
Listen.
Or do a Shein fast.
I was removing some stuff
Listen.
today, like, wait a minute.
No, that's really good. Danielle. Yeah, no, I think you got to sacrifice some stuff. So you got these goals, and if home ownership is one of them, then you can pick that stuff back up after you get that house.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So I think it's definitely teaching us to do less with more. I mean, more with less, and figure out really what it is we want. Like if we say we want home ownership, but are we willing to do what we have to do in order to make that happen? All right.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Well, are there any things that we are missing? I mean, those are kind of the things that just kind of come to the top of my mind. But any things that we are missing that you think we ought to be sure to tell the people outside of coming to the backyard barbecue on Saturday?
Yeah, y'all, I would just say invite anyone that share the word. This is the time of year, actually. It should be coming out this fall. Um, we typically will see like different housing reports based on race around the third quarter or so of the year. So that should present enough time for data for what was last year, 2024, for example.
Okay.
And so if you're looking at a African American, right, and we had just two random people that we pulled,
Hmm.
about one of them technically it's a little less than a full person, right? Like 45%, but about one of them would be a homeowner. So
Hmm.
that means that we have a lot of work to do. And that means that there are plenty of people in the Leon County area. Our homeownership rate for African Americans is actually pretty much in par with the national
Hmm.
average. So that means if we look to our left and our right, there are definitely individuals around us that um, have not purchased a home
Mm-hmm.
are not aware they're eligible to purchase a home or very close to being eligible to purchase a home. They think it is a little bit more mystical and complex of a process that always amazes me with people saying that they have the desire but just don't really know where to start or are afraid to start. So encourage your neighbor, your friend, your coworkers to come out. It will be a great time and you will leave with awesome information.
Nice, nice, nice. Thank you for that. I did think of one other thing: home inspections.
Ooh, good
Home
one.
inspections. So, can you talk a little bit about the importance of a home inspection?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Always get a home inspection. I do not care if that house just finished yesterday. Um, a home inspection, first of all, is designed to give you an idea of the condition of the house at that moment in time. So, for example, today we had rain. I love home inspections in the rain. Home inspectors may not like them as much, right? Trying to get on someone's roof in the rain, but you won't often see a roof leak until it rains, or how a home performs if it's pooling water, if there's an issue with drainage or things like that. And so one of the things I see a lot for some reason, I think it's reflective of economic times and, also reflective of the desire to own a home, but still the preparedness aspect is important.
Mm-hmm.
Start setting your money aside. Now, people focus on the down payment and the closing costs a lot. We have resources for those. That's great to be prepared for those. But five, six, $700 on various home inspections is also what you want to be prepared for. So many people will say, well, I just won't get one, or I'll get a very minimal one, just what you need for insurance, because I can't afford it. And if you kind of politically correct way to say this, I guess, but if it is difficult for the few $100s around an inspection, now may not necessarily be the time for home ownership for
Mm-hmm.
you, because what are you going to do if you have to replace your AC compressor, which is more than the cost of a home inspection, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
What are you going to do if just something major, just if you have to pay your homeowner's insurance deductible,
Yeah.
right? If something, a natural disaster happens, right? So there are you want to be prepared for home ownership and the financial aspects that it does come with. People think that when it comes to renting, because your landlord handles the maintenance request,
Mm-hmm.
that there's nothing you have to be prepared for financially. But when you rent, you have to be prepared to pivot financially. When we
Mm-hmm.
had those tornadoes last year, um, I knew several people who were renting the house they were renting had significant damage. They could no longer stay there and they had to be qualified to go rent somewhere else immediately. So they had to have security deposit money, application money, they needed to be credit ready, right? And so on and so forth. So you don't, the same things, the same position between home ownership and renting. So it's not necessarily more.
Yeah. Yeah. I think the one of the important points you made was just that a home inspection is important, even if it's new construction, because they may have missed something. And
Right.
so you want to make sure everything is up to par before you sign on the dotted line, because what you do is your responsibility, right?
Yes.
And so you definitely want to do that. Pam,
Yeah,
did
that's
okay.
sorry. Yeah, so that's part of counseling here too. Um, for your protection, get a home inspection. So the clients are actually signing that document to
Mhm,
say that they understand the importance of getting an inspection, and essentially saying that they will be present at the inspection. I know a lot of people will say, well, no, that's what I hired the inspector for. No, no, you didn't. He's going to do that, but you still want to be there, have some idea. You don't want too many surprises about the house you thought you were going to be moving into. And then on top of that, it's a requirement, of course, if you're going to use down payment assistance, you have to get a full inspection, not the 4 point, a full inspection of the
yeah.
house. We're in an area where it's hot. We get some rain, and sometimes these older homes have taken on a lot of water over the years, and there's wood rot and different things that have to be taken care of in advance. We just want you to at least be aware of what you're getting into, because once you buy it, you've bought it.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. We have a couple more folks that have chimed in. Miss Brittany, who is here in Tallahassee, thank you for being here. Miss Geraldine Ward, she said, "Good evening. I'll definitely need to watch this from the beginning." Absolutely, we appreciate you commenting though. And Quasi said, "Your conversations are always great, but these last two have been outstanding for people in
Yay.
the African."
Right.
Thank you, Quasi. So yeah, we want to definitely keep folks informed, and again, with it being National Homeownership Month, we need to dispel some of these myths and just uncover some of the maybe apprehension and uh, frustration. There are a lot of things, a lot of emotions that go on with this process because people are looking at your financial wellness really basically to see if you can afford a home as well as getting in your business, right? So it
Yeah.
can be a little unnerving. And so, but it's all because you're seeking to get this mortgage. They want to make sure that you're not that you're going to be a good risk for them to take. They're giving you this money, and so to the extent that you can, again, afford to have a home and can keep up the maintenance and the upkeep, we absolutely encourage you to do so. We absolutely encourage you to do so. Keisha says, "See y'all this Saturday." Yes,
All
yes,
right.
this Saturday. So I think that's a really good segue to maybe just going ahead and talking about the event one more again, and giving you all opportunities to give closing remarks. So Danielle, we'll start with you.
So I hope y'all will join us this Saturday, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at Laverne Payne Park. We are looking forward to you joining us at the Backyard Barbecue, sponsored by TLC, NeighborWorks, Truist Bank, ResNet Bank, the Tallahassee Board of Realtors. You are going to find a ton of great community vendors there, providing tables and exhibiting for you, great workshops, great food, and just a wonderful time, just like a typical barbecue food, family fun, and knowledge. So please join us. Hope to see you there.
Okay, and how can folks connect with you?
I would love to connect with you on Instagram. My Instagram is Danielle underscore Iman. Let's connect. Let's keep the conversation going about how you can own your home.
Yes, love that, love that, love that. All right. All right, very good. And so, again, it's going to be a great time at the event, Backyard Barbecue, which I think is so genius. Like kicking off the summer, right?
Yeah.
The summer with a backyard barbecue. That's lovely. All right. Pam, so if you will, again, give us some of the ins and outs, tell folks how they can connect with you, but also get registered for the event as well.
Yeah, so again at Laverne Payne Community Center, 450 West 4th Avenue. We would like for you to register at tallahasseelenders.org because it gives me an opportunity to get a good head count. Mission Barbecue, I'll just go ahead and drop that,
Oh,
will be providing the food for us. And so the more that I know in advance, the better. I'd hate for you to show up, go through the entire thing, and we've got way too many than I expected, and then there's not any food left. I don't want to be caught off guard like that. So register in advance if you can. One thing I would just want to leave with is don't tell yourself no. Stop telling yourself no. Stop listening to your neighbor as much. Get out and listen to the experts. We have the lenders that participate with the program, the realtors. Danielle herself is one of our partner realtors as well as a TBR member. But they have the insights, okay, to all those things you're hearing in the media. Just wash it away, at least for one day, and come out and get the word straight from the mouth of those professionals.
love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. All right. So come out, get all the information that you can. It's not only for first time home buyers, but folks that also, um, have their home, but maybe want to see what other opportunities there are out there for them. So definitely encouraging the entire community to come out and be part of this backyard barbecue in celebration of National Home Ownership Month, right? So folks are chiming in, giving us thanks. I really do hope that this has benefited you all. And if it has, as has already been stated, keep the conversation going. Please share this with someone that you think will also benefit from it. Let's see. We got the retail therapist. Great conversation. Thank you. Mom said great information. Thank you, Ma. I don't know who Rio Mar got bars, but he gave us some hearts. Thank you for that.
That's my adult son.
Oh, okay. Hey, son, we appreciate you. Keisha, I'm bringing five. They just showing up. You know what? Don't just show up. Register, ma'am. All right. And then King Solomon, good info, ladies. I'm about to pass out, but I really enjoyed this. Thank you, King Solomon. We appreciate you so much. Listen, home ownership does not have to be out of reach. Again, Tallahassee Lenders here in Tallahassee is here to help. So, definitely plug in, see what options are available. Come talk to the real estate professionals. There'll be lenders there as well at this backyard barbecue. So spread the word, spread the word, spread the word, because we want it to be packed out, packed out. Now, is this indoor outdoor, Pamela?
So the workshops will be held inside the center, and again sponsored by Renaissance Bank and Truist Bank.
Okay.
So thank you to them. But then the vendors or the lenders and realtors will have tables set up outside. There are two covered pavilions with seating
Okay.
when it's time to serve. Um, so we've got plenty of space and
Okay.
plenty of parking.
Okay. Because I was gonna ask if it rains, what we doing?
Oh well,
But it's covered,
hopefully,
so it's covered. So yes.
yeah.
Yes. All right, good. All right. So no excuses. Come out. It's absolutely free. Please do try to register. They want to make sure they have enough to accommodate everybody. Mission Barbecue is going to be providing the food. And so it should be a very good time. Should be a very good time. Yes. All right. Well, I often forget to do this, but for those who may be new to the platform, check out Conversations with Nicole. We are here on Mondays and Wednesdays, focus on mental health and wellness in Black and Brown communities. Today has been on financial wellness, but also I feel like this is environmental wellness as well,
Yeah.
because we're talking about our homes and the places that we spend a whole lot of time in, and we are building memories and families in these spaces. And so it's important that it is a safe and affordable and a place that we can definitely feel at home. So home matters, and we want to encourage for any and everybody who believes that they can get a home to go for it, right? And
Right.
Pam and Danielle are here to help y'all. All right.
That's right. Come
Yes.
on in.
Yes.
Come on in. Come on in. Yes. All right. Well, we are going to wrap up now. But again, thank you both for taking some time to chat with me today, and for the knowledge that you all brought to this conversation. And so looking forward to Saturday's event. And just having a great time with the community, and giving them some great information. So thank you both again.
My pleasure.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
You're welcome. All right, y'all. We will see y'all next time. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.